Hello, welcome to my channel. You can find the worksheet below this video. Let's start our lesson.
Exponents Lesson 1 Powers with whole number exponents. And in this part, I will explain what is the powers with the whole number exponent. And what is exponent? And in this way, and it's repeated multiplication. And normally we can write like 2 times 2 times 2. Or we can write in exponential form, like 2 cubed. And this is a power. And normally when we have a power like 2/3, the smaller number is the exponent, and for the larger number is the base. Okay, and let's look some examples. For example, the first one is 4 to the 5th power, and in this way, for the reading part, and we can read like 4 to the 5th power. And the smaller one is exponent, and the larger one is base. What's the meaning for this part? It means that the 4 times itself 5 times, like this. Okay, so what's the value of this one? It's 1024. Let's look at another example. And for this one, and this number 6, the smaller part is exponent, and the larger part, and in the bracket is -3. The -3 is base. To read, and this is -3 to the 6th power. And for the meaning, and it means -3 times -3 times -3 times -3 times -3 times -3, 6 times. And for the value, is because it's like 2 minus equals positive, so this 2 is positive, so this 2 is positive, this 2 is positive, and the result is positive. The value is 729. And another example, and x to the power of y, and now y is exponent, and for the x is base. To the read, and this is x to the y's power, and for the meaning is x times itself y times. So, and for the value, because this is variable, so we don't know the value, so the value is still the same, and x to the y's power. The exponent laws. The first law is product laws, and let's look one example first, like 8 cubed times 8 squared. And in this way, we can write like the first one is 8 times itself 3 times, so it's 8 times 8 times 8, and times, and for the second part is 8 times itself 2 times, So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 8. So it's 8 to the 5th power. Or we can write like 8, 3, and for the exponent 3 plus 2. So the product law, and we can write like, so a to the mth power and times a to the n power, it's equals to a to the mth plus n power. And another example, a to the third power times a to the second power equals to a to the third plus second. So it's a to the 5th power. Second one is quotient law. And for the quotient law, and still, let's look at example first. A to the third power divides 8 to the second power. So in this way, we can rewrite in 8 times 8 times 8 over 8 times 8. And then we can simplify this part, and it's equals to 8. Or we can rewrite like 8 to the 3 minus 2 equals to 8. So in this way, the quotient law is, so for the a to the mth power divides a to the nth power equals to a for the m subtract n. Or, and we can give another example, is a to the third power divides to a to the second power equals to a to the 3 minus 2 equals to a itself. Okay. Number 3, power of a product law. And this law is similar to distributive law, and it's just distribute the exponent to each number. For example, like 8 times 7 and in the brackets and to the power of third. And when in this way, we can write like 8 times 7 times 8 times 7 times 8 times 7. And then we can see, and this is 8 times 8 times 8 times 7 times 7 times 7. And then we can get 8 to the third power times 7 to the third power. If you can see in this way, and it's just distribute the exponent to each number, so the answer is 8 to the third power times 7 to the third power. And it's just like a times b in the bracket and to the mth power, and it equals to a to the nth power times b to the mth power. Number 4, power of a quotient law. And in this way, and still we can use an example. And in the bracket, 8 over 7 to the third power. And in this way, we can rewrite it like 8 over 7 times 8 over 7 times 8 over 7. And then it's like 8 to the third power over 7 to the third power. This is similar to the power of a product law, and we just distribute the exponent to each number, and then we got this one. And then we have like a over b to the x to the nth power, and it equals to a to the nth power over b to the nth power. The last one is power of a power law. And for example, add 8 to the third power and then to the second power. And in this way, we can rewrite like 8 to the third power times 8 to the third power. And in this way, based on the product law, we know this is 8 to the 3 plus 3 equals to 8 to the 6th law. And in this way, or we can rewrite like 8 to the 2 times 3. So, and for the law is 8 to the mth power to the nth power equals to a to the mth times n power.
Thank you for watching. If you like my teaching, please click the subscribe button. Please let me know your questions in comments.